Okay, so on this update for the Mobi-factory, what we're going to talk about is a number of things actually. The first being something that centers around one of our 5 core values of being sustainable. So what we have here is a stack of planks that came from a local company called Porter Barnwood. And what they do is they have a yard full of reclaimed wood, everything from planks like this from the sides of barns to threshing, 4x4s, a number of different shackles and hangers and things from old hay plants. And these boards in particular happen to come from a tobacco manufacturing plant in either Tennessee or Kentucky. So we thought that would be really great to be able to incorporate these pieces into the Mobi-factory, especially if we're going to bring one to Knoxville or Louisville, both areas that we've been to and we've seen some interest in. So couldn't pass these ones up. You can see they've got great character, very weathered. You can see where they were nailed to the side of the barn, still have all the knots in them and everything. What we're going to do is we're going to cut these down into about 4-foot sections, and these are going to become the shelves for our retail products inside the Mobi-factory as well as inside all of our micro-factories. So to use this reclaimed wood certainly shows how sustainable we're trying to be and to kind of bring everything home, so to speak. Again, if this Mobi-factory were to end up in Knoxville or Louisville or some other area within that region. The other thing that we picked up when we were at Porter Barnwood is they also, as I mentioned, they gather up a lot of other pieces of equipment from farms and hay baling equipment and things like that. We grabbed these giant wagon wheels, and I don't exactly have a use for them right now, but I couldn't resist passing these up, especially since the bearings are still functional. So we can use this as a light, like an overhead chandelier of sorts. We can use it as a reel to reel up some of our lighting for the Mobi-factory. We could cut it into wedges and make the arm of an armchair. We could turn it, flip it upside down, turn it into a table for the Mobi-factory or the micro-factory. Who knows? But again, just in the area of in the interest of being sustainable, we're trying to use these pieces that are coming from already existing sources, especially when they relate to something vehicular. Being that we're a world of vehicle innovations, we would love to be able to incorporate this into one of our designs. So behind me here, Carson is preparing the awning arms for the lacing of the actual awning. We've taken the arms of our design, we brought in the awning company and worked out a design with them to be able to incorporate our arms with how they typically want to lace up their awning. So what he's doing is he's taking a small piece of 1/2-inch round aluminum stock and adding it to the top of the 2x3 awning arm so that there's a gap in between the 2x3 square and the round piece. So he takes a small section of round stock and he's welded it, I believe it's every foot or every couple feet, and then right on top of that, almost creating like a figure 8, he has a longer section of the 1/2-inch round stock so that there's an area for the lacing to run up along the arm and around the bend of the arm, heading back down towards the top of the container. And that's how they'll be able to pull the awning nice and tight so you don't get that kind of flap in the awning when you get into a windstorm. Alright, so what's going to happen here is this is our first test of raising the platform back up into position. So you can see we've got the winch mounted to the roof there. We've got it hooked up to the D-ring, which is welded into the floor of the platform. And this is the same winch or the same cable system that's also going to raise and lower the awning arms, which have been removed right now. You can see the awning arms, if you remember from previous videos, they're not there right now. So when we set down the Mobi-factory in a location, we'll hook the winch up to the door, we'll drop the platform down, then we'll hook the cable up to the awning arms. Once the arms are down and they have their awning on there, we'll hook it up, fire up the winch, and we'll raise the awning arms into position. So we're about to fire it up here for the first time. So now that we've tested the ability to raise the platform back into position with the winch, the next step is going to now be use that winch to raise and lower the awning arms. So again, we've removed the arms to be able to fabricate some things to them so that we can set up our actual awning and lace that up. So now what we'll do is we'll put the arms back on, lower the platform first, put the arms back on, and then we'll finish the fabrication work to be able to hook the cables up to the awning arms and do the same test just to raise and lower them and see how that works.